33 now, the accelerated bombing campaign against ISIS in Iraq and Syria has prompted a U.S. carrier closer to ISIS targets.
We talk about high-intensity operations here on the U.S.S. Harry Truman, with jets taking off every few minutes to hit ISIS. Bethany joining us now to explain the impact of U.S. air support in Iraq and northern Syria.
U.S. forces say airstrikes against ISIS are having a major effect. This news comes as the U.S.S. Truman moves into a better position to effectively execute even more airstrikes. The Truman just moved from the Persian Gulf to the Mediterranean Sea, placing the carrier much closer to Syria. This move comes as an international aid organization says the Islamic State group has been shooting and killing civilians who attempt to flee Falluja. U.S.-led coalition airstrikes have been backing Iraqi forces on the ground since late May as they fight to win back territory from the extremists in places like Falluja in Iraq and in northern Syria. Since June 1st, the U.S. has conducted 9,663 strikes. This is in both Iraq and in Syria, while the rest of the coalition has conducted 3,022 strikes, totaling 12,685 strikes. U.S. commanders believe the coming weeks will be critical in the fight against ISIS, now that the group seems to be losing its grip on some major strongholds. The Truman's pilots have helped pave the way for these gains.
We have definitely degraded them, and we've destroyed them in many different places all throughout Iraq and Syria. So I feel like we've made a large impact.
ISIS may be weakened. Still, officials warn some of the most intense fighting against the group is likely still ahead, meaning more combat missions for this carrier's jets. The carrier's tour has been extended for a full month as they continue the fight against ISIS. And I will tell you that while 3,000 families have been able to escape since May, a remaining 50,000 people are still trapped in the center of Falluja. And as I mentioned in this story, as they flee, the militants are picking off the civilians one by one.
Using some as human shields, using some towns and communities as human shields. The numbers are daunting.
Oh, and an enormous percentage of the people in that city are women and children. It's really disturbing. Yep. Thanks, Bethany.